What's good, YouTube? This your boy Woke. We back with another one. Please forgive me for not dropping that gameplay reaction to the February, that amazing gameplay. If you haven't watched it, please go watch it. I'm gonna try to put it up here in this area, somewhere over here. Check that out for me. Y'all show some love to that. But bruh, I love the gameplay. That was amazing. But I thought about something interesting. There's been a few combat video games that have been the first of their kind, rather the first of their publishers, right? And I see that the release dates have a consistent theme. I think I can piece that together to come up with a proper time the game will actually be released. Just so you know, it will be this year. Let's get into the video. I guess we're about to get our Batman on, our detective on. Let's get it though. So, we take a look at this here. The first game we're going to talk about today is going to be EA UFC. You ask, well, bro, this is ESBC. This is boxing. This ain't no UFC game. Great brother, I know. But the thing is, EA actually ended, let me make myself a little smaller for y'all. EA Sports actually have a weird kind of timeline that's a little similar to ESBC's, or maybe be similar. We're gonna see, right? So, looking at this here, right? Let's establish a few things first. When was ESBC actually announced to be an actual game? Let's take it from there. ESBC was announced to be an actual game according to the resources, right? Shout out to Serena. It was actually announced to be a game, right? April 2020. April 2020, that's when it was announced to be a game, right? What's the date right now? It's March 2022. It's about a year, 11 months since we got the official announcement that this game is going to come out, right? So let's go now compare it to EA UFC. Now, this series actually followed up a very, very successful series in the UFC Undisputed series by THQ. To this day, THQ still has the best UFC games, probably MMA games, period. They were great. They were in-depth. The character models were better. Functionality was great. It was still an older game, so the striking wasn't as pure, but just as fun. The impact, the camera angles when you got rocked, the brutality, it was awesome. I still go get that game if they ever got cross-play on it. But looking at EA UFC, right? For the longest, the UFC didn't want to work with EA. They didn't like them. But EA was smart. They started seeing how impactful and smart, they started seeing how much success the UFC was actually having, right? So THQ went out of business actually. They dropped UFC Undisputed 3 in May of 2012, right? And guess how fast EA hopped on? We come down here, right? Undisputed 3, released in 2012, right? It's EA saw the success of THQ games, sold over 3 million copies each, I want to say. And actually, they announced a partnership with the UFC at the Electronic Entertainment Expo, right? June 5th, 2012. That's when they announced the partnership, and pretty much the game was announced at that point, right? ESBC was announced April 2020. This game was announced June of 2012. So, thinking about it now, when was the game actually released? The game was actually released about 2 years after the announcement that the game was coming out. But let's continue. Okay, could the game be coming out in April? Since that'll be the 2-year mark? I don't know. But let's continue. Okay, that's one piece of evidence, maybe 2 years. 2 years is, let's say at least 2 years, right? Let's say at least 2 years at this point. Because let's have a baseline. We have at least 2 years. So right now, we got the baseline of, hey, we're going to have, so we can for sure say now, ESBC, at least we got a 2-year minimum. Okay, because we know EA got the money, they can push a game out. So let's say 2 years minimum on a game, right? 2 years, so that'll be April. They'll be dropping the game. Next month, do you think the game's coming out? I don't think the game's coming out next month. But let's keep building our case. Our next piece of evidence actually comes from ESBC themselves. So, as we all know, probably heard, ESBC is having a community event where they're inviting 6 core key creators. Shout out to all these good brothers. King Juice, Coach's Corner, The Ops Study, Boxing Fanatical, Showbiz the Adult, Press 1 if you stole it, and Concept Reach, right? So these are the right people to go. I'm happy they made it. They put the work in. All their content's good. I mess with them. But so they're going on March 23rd. Let's get the date for you, right? They're going on March 23rd, right? March 22nd, 23rd, 24th. So they're going to be there playing the game in North Carolina, right? They can't release any type of content of what they went through till March 28th. Either that could be ESBC planning to maybe have a super first look, or maybe just make it so they ain't rushing all, get the content out first, right? But March 22nd, 23rd, 24th, right? In essence, that's a closed beta. So if that's a closed beta, where have we also seen other closed betas at? And let's see how those closed betas in relation to game release dates affect when the game's coming out. Let's go. We go to EA UFC 3. I know you're saying, well, dude, you keep talking about UFC. Well, bro, we ain't had a damn boxing game in 11 years. We gotta use combat sports. And given EA has the resources, let's see when their closed beta came out in relation to when this game actually was released. Let's see. As we can see here, November 3rd, 2017. Alright? Was when the closed beta was released, okay? The open beta was released December 1st through December 5th of 2017, right? So right now, ESBC in essence is doing a closed beta, right? November 3rd, 2017, the closed beta for EA UFC 3 came out, right? When did the game actually get released though? Let's see. The game was actually released, they say day 1 patch, February 2nd? Let's verify that. Let's see, is it February 2nd? Whoa, February 2nd was the official release date. So, if we had a closed beta, November 3rd, And let's say ESBC is having their closed beta March 23rd, right? November 3rd to February 2nd is December, 1 month, January, 2 months, February, 3 months later. So now if we want to think about it like this, if a closed beta for ESBC is happening March 23rd-ish, right? And who knows, what if, nah, let's not say that yet. Well, let's say it. What if they're going to have an open beta or early access in April? Because, you know, EA released their open beta, i.e. earlier access, right? To an earlier build of the game, i.e. early access, a month later. So what if we get the closed beta for the selected few, March 23rd, open beta, i.e. early access, into April. That'd be 1 month out. And we saw with EA UFC 3, it was 3 months from closed beta to release date. So what is actually 3 months from now? Right? From March 23rd, April 23rd, 20th, whatever, 1 month, May, and June. So now, if a game is playable enough that you're letting fans, in essence, go see it, to give critiques for it, right? You can't be super far out of development. So the game might be kind of close to coming out. Because they can or cannot take the critiques. They could release, they could do some polishing on it, and it could be good to go right now, for all we know. So in 3 months, that's the end of June. Right? Some of our biggest fights last year happened, what? July, August, September-ish time, right? So now let's say right now we got the 2-year mark. We met the 2-year mark with ESBC in April, right? Now we got the closed beta to release date mark of at least 3 months. So now we're probably at least end of June, right? Early July, let's say, right? Wouldn't that make sense for a release date? It would. But let's keep building our case. So, next game we're going to look at, we see now an ESBC was actually released their first alpha footage gameplay, right? Game was announced April 2020. November 2020, when we first got that real good look at the alpha, right? With Connor Ben, Arturo Gatti, right? There's another game. First time making a game, smaller type of distributor, publisher, and that is THQ when they released UFC 1. Guess what? When they dropped their first trailer, right? Actually, let's see when the game was announced first, right? Let's compare that. What we at on here? Okay, cool. The game was actually announced in 2007, right? They got the agreement in place 2007 with the UFC, with THQ, right? Before this game was dropped, the last MMA game was Sudden Impact in 2004. Honestly, it didn't nobody play it. Let's just keep it a buck. Equivalent to how boxing is. Before Undisputed came out, it wasn't 11 years like it is now, but it damn well should have been, because what nobody playing the MMA games, bro. This was really the first of its kind, equivalent to kind of ESBC with their resurgence. So 2007 it was announced, right? So now the first ever gameplay trailer, or rather trailer equivalent to ESBC's, their first trailer was in November 10th, 2020. Game announced April. Then this game was announced 2007, and their first trailer came out July of 2007, right? So now we keep going, But the question is, when did this game actually drop? From their first trailer to the release date. Let's go see. Release date. The game was dropped May of 2009. That's confirmed because yeah, it's definitely May 2009. The other one was released May 2010, pretty much a year after the next game was released. First game released of UFC, May 2009, right? So from, what do we say? First trailer dropped July 2007, after the game was announced, early July, to, let's count that up. July 2007 to May 2009 is about a year and 10 months. If we go off of this formula now, right? We got at least the 2 years that we saw with EA and UFC series, right? We would actually at least have the 2 years and the three additional months that we saw with the closed beta, right? So we're already kind of June, late June. But then if we go off when the first initial trailers were dropped, if we go a year and 10 months from here, this would be November 10th, 2021 is 1 year. And now another 10 months from this date, if we go 2 months back from November for a full 2 years, would be October, September. Bing, 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 bing. Your boy Woke just figured out when ESBC gonna get dropped. Expect a release date, September or August time, right? Cause that's typically when Canelo, he had his little fight in May-ish, right? Then him. When we got Wilder Fury, that was around August, September-ish. It was so many good fights in that span of time in that fall area right there. That September, August, October time. And guess what? It'll be perfect for marketing, right? You got so many sports coming back at that time. So the commercials, they get a commercial spot on NFL Sunday. Boom. Right? You got big fights coming up then. You can drop the spots then. And on top of that, what most companies do, like EA with Madden and 2K with 2K basketball, they drop the games August, September, October time. So you let it marinate a little bit. And then for the holiday season, they put a little BS price drop on it and then eat up for the holiday season. So ladies and gentlemen, ESBC, I'm here to announce. And I don't know this for sure, but we did the research. We woke up in here. The game will probably be released September or August, because it fulfills all the criteria. So I appreciate y'all for going on this journey with me. We've actually, we cracked that code, man. We cracked that code. So what I want you to do, like, comment, subscribe for me. If you like the video, share the video. Hey man, I'm about to be doing a lot more little interesting videos like this. I got my setup right, got my equipment right. We finna cook, we about to work. Show some love to your boy. You know what I'm saying? Be ready. When the game drops, we going hard. Woke Wednesdays, anybody can get it. I'm not taking no L's to none of y'all, I promise. So, show some love to me. More content coming. Subscribe, like, appreciate y'all. Salute.